Today, I'm going to show you how to complete Form I-360. This form is used to apply for many things, but today we are focused on Vawa and Special Immigrant Juvenile. All right, Immigration Nation, let's start with the requirements for a Vawa application and what are the supporting documents that Vawa needs.
Who can file a self-petition under VAWA? Abused spouses married to or divorced within the last 2 years from an abusive U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. The relationship must have been in good faith and you must not have remarried before the petition is approved. Abused children under 21 years old and the child of an abusive U.S. citizen or permanent resident. They can self-petition or be included in a parent's self-petition. Abused parents, parents of a U.S. citizen who is at least 21 years old. Residents abroad, if the abuser works for the U.S. government, military, or if the abuse occurred in the U.S. Main requirements: qualified relationship with the abuser, lived with the abuser at some point, evidence of abuse, physical, emotional, sexual, coercive, or psychological, good moral character, police certificate or affidavit for those over 14 years old, recommended evidence, abuser's immigration status, birth certificates, naturalization, passport, etc., relationship evidence, marriage, divorce certificates, birth certificates, etc., proof of co-residence, rental receipts, bills, medical or school records, abuse evidence, police reports, medical records, affidavits, good faith marriage evidence, affidavits, joint financial records, photos, legal documents. Note, you can submit any relevant evidence even if it's not listed above. Every case is a little bit different.
Now let's look at the requirements and supporting documents for Special Immigrant Juvenile. A court must decide that
you are physically present in the U.S., you are single, not married, and under 21 years old, dependent on someone or are under the custody of a state agency or designated entity. You can't be reunited with one or both parents because of their abuse, neglect, abandonment, or similar reason under state law. It is not in your best interest to return to your home country. As you can see, the requirements are very different than a VAWA application. So are the required documents: birth certificate or proof of age. Court's written decision finding the 5 required elements. If you are under the custody of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services HHS, then you need their consent for this change of status. Important note, once you become a special immigrant juvenile obtains permanent residency, you will never be able to file for your biological or adoptive parents. Even if you become a U.S. citizen, you will not be able to apply for them. Now let's get into the general instructions for completing these forms. Access and download forms. Forms are available for free on the USCIS website. It's recommended to use the latest version of Adobe Reader to fill them out. If you don't have access to the internet, call the USCIS contact center to have the form mailed to you. Signature: the form must be signed properly. USCIS does not accept stamped or typed signatures. If you're under 14 years old, your parent, guardian, or legal representative can sign for you. If the signature is invalid or missing, USCIS will reject or possibly deny the application. Signature validity: photocopies, faxes, or scanned versions of an original handwritten signature are valid for submission as long as they are legible. Filing fee: check form G-1055 at www.uscis.gov/forms for specific filing fee information. Evidence: ensure you submit all required supporting evidence and documents with the application to avoid docs getting lost. Biometric services appointment. USCIS may ask you to attend a biometric appointment, fingerprints, photo, and/or signature. If you don't attend, your application may be denied. If you're outside the U.S., contact an embassy or consulate. Document copies. Submit legible copies of requested documents unless otherwise indicated. USCIS may ask for original documents during the process and will return them. Important note: do not send original documents unless required, as USCIS may destroy or lose them. If submitting documents in another language, include a full English translation. The translator must sign a certification stating that the translation is accurate and that they are qualified to translate. The certification should include the translator's signature, name, date, and contact details. Now let's get into filling out Form Y-360. Complete the form in printer type using black ink. If you need more space, use Part 15, additional information, or attach a separate sheet. Write your name and A number at the top of each page. Indicate the page number, part, and section, and sign and date each page. Answer completely according to the status under which you're applying. example VAWA, SIJ, widow of U.S. citizen. If a question doesn't apply to your case, example, if you've never been married and the question asks for your current spouse's name, write NA, not applicable, unless otherwise instructed. If the answer to a numeric question is 0 or none, example, how many children do you have? Or how many times have you left the US? Write none or 0. Note, you will only have an OAN if you previously filed a form with a receipt number starting with IOE. If you don't have one, you won't have an OAN. The OAN is not the same as the A number. If CBP or USCIS issued you Form I-94, include the I-94 number and expiration date. If CBP admitted you to the US after April 30th, 2013, you probably have an electronic I-94. You can get it online at www.cbp.gov/I-94 or request a replacement using Form Y-102. If you entered the US using a passport or travel document, include that information even if the passport has expired. Section 11, declaration, contact information, statement, and signature of petitioner, individual, important. Complete this section only if you're filing this petition for yourself. If you're filing for someone else or as an authorized signer for an organization, complete Section 12. Select the appropriate box to indicate if you read the petition yourself or if you had an interpreter. If someone helped you complete the petition, select the box indicating you used a preparer. Also, you must sign and date your petition and provide your daytime phone number, mobile phone number, if applicable, and email address, if applicable. Each petition must contain the petitioner's signature, or the signature of a parent or legal guardian, if applicable. A stamped or typed name is not accepted in place of a signature. Section 12. Declaration, contact information, statement, and signature of petitioner or authorized signer. Important. Complete this section only if you're filing Form Y-360 for someone else or as an authorized signer for an organization. If you're filing the petition for yourself, complete Section 11. Select the appropriate box to indicate if you read the petition yourself or if you had an interpreter. If someone helped you complete the petition, select the box indicating you used a preparer. Each petition must contain the signature of the petitioner or authorized signer of the organization. A stamped or typed name is not accepted in place of a signature. Section 13. Contact information, certification, and signature of interpreter assistance. If you used an interpreter to read the instructions and questions of this petition in a language you are fluent in, the interpreter must complete this section, interpreter information. The interpreter must provide their name, the name and address of their business or organization, if applicable, their daytime phone number, mobile phone number, if applicable, and email address, if applicable. Interpreter signature. The interpreter must sign and date the petition. Section 14. Contact information, declaration, and signature of person who prepared this petition, if other than the petitioner. This section must contain the signature of the person who completed your petition, if you did not complete it yourself. If the same person acted as both your interpreter and preparer, that person must complete both Part 13 and Part 14. If the person who completed this petition is associated with a company or organization, they must complete the name and address of the company or organization. Anyone who helped you complete this petition must sign and date the petition. A stamped or typed name is not accepted in place of a signature. If the person who assisted with the preparation of your petition is an attorney or accredited representative whose representation goes beyond the preparation of this petition, they may also need to submit Form G28, Notice of Entry of Appearance as Attorney or Accredited Representative, or Form G28-1, Notice of Entry of Appearance as Attorney in matters outside the geographic limits of the United States, along with your petition. Change of address. If you are not a U.S. citizen, you must notify USCIS of your new address within 10 days of moving. For more information on how to change your address, visit our website at www.uscis.gov/address change or call the USCIS Contact Center. Note, do not send a change of address request to the USCIS lockbox. Processing information. USCIS will reject any Form I-360 that is unsigned or does not include the correct filing fee, and will send you a notice indicating that the Form I-360 is incomplete. You will be able to correct the deficiency and resubmit the Form I-360. A petition is not considered properly filed until USCIS accepts it. Initial processing. Once USCIS accepts your petition, we will verify if it is complete. If you fail to properly complete this petition, you will not establish a basis for your eligibility, and we may reject or deny your petition. Request for additional information. USCIS may ask you to provide more information or evidence to support your petition. We may also ask you to submit the originals of any copies you have submitted. If we request an original document, we will return it to you after USCIS determines it is no longer needed. Request for interview. We may ask you to appear at a USCIS office for an interview based on your petition. During your interview, USCIS may require you to provide biometric data to verify your identity and/or update background and security checks. Decision. The decision on the form I-360 involves determining whether you have established your eligibility for the immigration benefit you are seeking. USCIS will notify you of our decision in writing.
And there you have it, Immigration Nation. Now you know the essential steps for completing Form I-360. Remember, every case is unique, so it's always important to seek advice from an immigration lawyer who can guide you personally. Don't give up. This is just another step towards your future. If you have any questions or need further help, don't hesitate to leave your comments below. Remember, we're in this together.
Hey, did you like the video? I invite you to watch another video where I share more tips on how to protect your reputation as an immigrant. Until next time.